kid, and it's husband-wise genetics, and you guys get a divorce, and husband X they now hate each other, and is like, well, that's not my kid because he's doesn't have my blood running through his veins. Like, I always wonder how do you deal with that? Is there a legal situation?
Well, it used to be. It used to be not a legal situation because if a gay couple had that happen. But now that we can get married, and now that it is now made so in Texas now, even because this whole Ken Paxton, the attorney governor, whatever his fucking name was, attorney general thing, now it's so that when couple is married, gay couple is married, and one of them has a child, genetically, the other parent is automatically equal in their rights, just as if it were a heterosexual couple. If one person's a step parent and they're married to that person automatically has the rights. So now you're both legally responsible, regardless of whether you like the person or not. So I think it's the same with straight people. If you break up, you still want to love your kid and be part of his life or whatever.
Not always.
Well, okay.
You would hope.
Well,
they never met their daddy in their life.
No, I know that's true, but I mean, a good parent, I think, would really want to. If you really love them, you always will. But anyway, so you wanted to talk about the drag queen thing, the bitch.
Yes, it's been all over social media the last 3 days. Winner of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 2, Tyra Sanchez, who I will say, before I get into specifics, is not that educated first. I'll say that.
Obviously.
But I mean, just as far as communicating herself, it's clear that she's not educated to the standard that she needs to be at her age. So basically, somebody had tweeted her, and she said, well, I'm not responsible if someone wants to take their own life. That's their own business. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't care about that. And then another fan replied and was like, do you realize the type of example that you're setting? And, there could be somebody reading this right now that is teetering suicide, and you're encouraging them, and was responding with things like, oh, go die. And then at one point had told somebody had tweeted her and said, well, my brother committed suicide, or some family member committed suicide, and it affected our whole family. And Tyra responded by saying, well, what you don't realize is you're the reason he committed suicide. So just these nasty comments towards fans, people that are just trying to just educate her, talk to her a little bit about depression and the dark side of suicide, and these serious issues that we have going on, not only in our community, but in society in general, but specifically the gay community and our trans community, because of the hate and the type of things that go on in small towns and big cities late at night on street corners. I mean, you just never know.
Well, I mean, first of all, I think it shows the person's character. It doesn't matter how educated or uneducated she is.
Right.
What it shows is her character and how she thinks about people and humanity. And she just shows her to be somewhat of an asshole. I mean, she really is just an asshole. I mean, who would say that? And I think that people, as you said, she's uneducated, she's ignorant about the situation. But I think that when someone is committing suicide or has committed suicide or is contemplating committing suicide, I mean, they're at a point that for whatever reason, they're either struggling with depression clinically, or they're going through something really horrible in their lives, or they have a horrible self-image. I mean, there's a bazillion reasons you could be going through this. And these reasons are often, external. But the point is that person, to say that person, oh, I don't give a fuck about you, just go on, do what the fuck you want. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to be me, whatever she said. I think is crass and cruel and inhumane. I mean, how can you not look at another human being and say, I don't want you to kill yourself? I mean, I find that to be real.
And then she tried to backtrack a little bit by saying she killed the person she used to be, which is what she was trying to say. She killed her old habits, the person she used to be, and now she's a new Tyra, which...
Well, I don't like the new Tyra. I don't like the first Tyra either. But
I don't like the old Tyra. I don't like the new Tyra.
I don't like Tyra.
No, I mean, nobody does. So...
I actually don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race. She's from Drag Race, right?
Season 2, so 12 years ago.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
Not literally 12 years ago.
No, but okay.
And it's going on season 8 next year, so...
Well, now, what do you think, Jason?
I heard of it, about the situation over the weekend. I don't know much about her because honestly, I don't watch the show either. But to say something like that, that that you necessarily don't care about someone's life or it's not your concern, that type of thing, that may be how you feel, but you have to remember that you were on a reality show, so there are certain people who are looking up to you.
Mhm.
So I mean, even if you don't, even if you truly feel it's none of your business, at least pretend and make it seem like you shouldn't do that. At least let them know, give them some words of encouragement. I mean, now if that's how you truly feel, behind closed doors, and that's one thing, and but at least on social media, at least make it seem a little bit more uplifting. Just like, oh,
Well,
Right.
that's none of my business, and yada yada
if
yada.
she had any kind of like tact or any kind of like social mores, she would
Mhm.
know that you don't say that. But I actually would prefer that she just be uneducated dumb fuck and say
Right.
shit like that, because I'd rather know who I'm dealing with and know that I don't want this person around. And so
Yeah.
I'm glad that she's making a fool of herself. She's a dumb.
Yeah. And I mean, there have obviously been a lot of other stars that have come off of that show that are basically saying they don't agree with what she's saying. Pretty much the entire gay community. It's Tyra Sanchez versus the entire gay
You know,
population.
it's so true.
So, it's clear who's winning here. It's just sad when you don't even want to understand. That's the thing. She doesn't even want to understand. So,
She's just basically saying, I don't apologize. That's how I feel. Deal with it.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly that.
Whatever, bitch. Okay. So next, Jason, you said that Ariana Grande fans are starting a petition to cancel Wendy Williams' show. Why?
Yeah, we know what happened, but I'm gonna tell you what happened.
I don't know what happened.
So,
I don't know what
so,
happened. I don't know.
so what had happened was no. So Wendy Williams was on her show and she was talking about Ariana Grande and Big Sean, their relationship, how they broke up, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And she made a comment saying that Ariana Grande looks like a 12-year-old, which she technically does.
Yeah.
Very
And for
petite.
some reason, like all of the Ariana Grande fans got just so bent out of shape, and because they called her a quote unquote a 12-year-old, and now they're trying to start this online petition. I think it's funny, but
Are
it's
you
also kind of
kidding
ridiculous.
me?
They started an online petition to sign to get the Wendy Williams show canceled. I'm like, how old are her fans? Aren't they like 10-year-olds? So I'm just like, and
Yes.
I'm like, they're not even old enough to vote. So I'm just like,
Right.
how are you going to sign a petition to cancel a show you're not even enough to vote?
But even
So
still, why would they cancel her show because she called somebody a 12-year-old? She said much worse than that anyway.
Oh,
but
yeah.
but
I,
I remember that no. First of all, let me say no offense to any of the Ariana Grande fans out there. However, comma, um, you have to remember that some of the Ariana Grande fans are pretty. What's the word? They're what's the word I'm looking for? They're a little.
Enthusiastic?
Yeah, that with a combination of a little
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
high strung and a little loony all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if you say anything bad about, someone that they, quote unquote idolize, then it's like, oh, hell no. I can't believe you said that she looks like a 12-year-old and that type of thing. I'm like, girl, it ain't that serious. It is
Well,
not that
I
fucking
mean, I
serious.
think there's a difference too, because I mean, these fans that you're talking about, like for me, I'm obviously a huge Madonna fan. If somebody says something bad about Madonna, I actually can be objective about it and say, yeah, her arms look like Skeletor or whatever, because they do. But I mean, or she looks bad because of this, or she's done this, she looks stupid. I can be objective about it. But I think if you,
Exactly.
but I think
And
if you're so like enmeshed in someone that you're like obsessed to the point where you can't even say they look like a 12-year-old, you're a little wacky.
and that's what it's a little obsessive. Like, 'cause, I mean, they can say things about Madonna, they can say things about plenty of people, but you also have to remember this is Wendy fucking Williams. She goes in and talks about everyone.
She
So
brings it on herself.
so exactly. So I don't know if Ariana Grande fans are like new to the whole Wendy Williams experience or that type of thing, but it's like Wendy Williams has been doing this for years. Even back in her radio days, she
Mm-hmm.
always went in on people and just had spilled the tea and told all kinds of gossip about celebrities. So it's
Right.
like I honestly, really, at the end of the fucking day, this petition is going to do shit. I mean, her show
No.
is still going to be on the air,
Of
but
course.
just Ariana Grande, the fans out, some of her fans out there. Let me be clear.
Well, when I was reading it, it sounded a lot like they were mostly upset because they felt like, as a woman, you should be supporting another woman. And this is basically like belittling somebody because of their body, which is the way they're born. And, she's a thick girl. She's big. She's tall. And as a woman who is often made fun of for their size, they would just expect her to be a little bit more kind to her. But again,
that's not her. That is not her character. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
But people have always made fun of Ariana Grande. Wendy Williams is not the first person to make fun of her.
And people have always made fun of Wendy Williams.
Yes.
But I think the moral of the story is, woman against woman, and
But it's not even. It's not even the women. It's their fans. So it's not even them doing this. It's just ridiculous.
Well, and they're 13. That's what it comes down to.
Yes. Oh my God! Did you hear what Wendy Williams said about Ariana?
Right,
oh my God! Oh my God! We've got to get her out of the school.
And Wendy Williams has been off air on summer break for like a month.
I know.
Just catching on to this.
I know. I can actually see Wendy Williams' face when she comes back, just making that face. Look.
I know it's ridiculous. So at the end of the day, the show wasn't going anywhere.
Right. Should be real quick to tell you, she got that contract to 2018. Boo boo.
Are you serious? Oh my God.
Yeah, her contract she has a contract with whatever network that
Fox.
is. And so, yeah,
The
Fox
only thing one of the
things
only things I don't like about Wendy Williams, one of the things I don't like about Wendy Williams is that she always, I don't know, maybe this is a lot of celebrities because they need to do this in order to relate to the fans, but she always acts like she doesn't have any money and like she's just everyday Wendy. You know what I mean? Like she's just like going to this going to Marshalls and whatever.
Which I told you she did wear that street wig though.
I know. But
well, that's what initially kind of turned me on to Wendy was because she would shop at Dollar General and Marshalls and that type of thing. And I was like, okay, she just seems like, the everyday, average woman.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be like, oh, yeah. She like, goes on grocery shopping and, goes to Target and, all these other places. And I'm just like, okay, she's not one of those people that's just like, oh, let me go into, Louis Vuitton. And I'm sure she does and, buys things like that. But it's like.
But the reality is that Wendy Williams' net worth is around $60 million. $60 million. So the woman is not an everyday girl, okay?
Well, I know.
She
can spend some of that money to spend with me.
And that's exactly. She can be all, it's like Oprah Winfrey, for example, when she, she's like a bazillionaire, and she, when she was doing her show, she kind of tried to do that to some degree, but I don't think it's the same way, or obviously. She was much more high-end or whatever. But she wasn't like trying to be like, act like she didn't have tons of money. And that's just one of the things that bothers me about Wendy Williams is she kind of acts like she doesn't. And I'm like, whatever. I know you. But anyway, whatever.
Well, some people are frugal. Just based on where you go, it's like you could be a millionaire, have $1 million, but if you still grew up really poor, you're probably not going to be the first one to
and that's true.
Buy a block of $50 sheets.
That's true, and that's fair. But I still think she's fake. But whatever. Okay, Target is becoming gender neutral. You read about that?
Woohoo!
Yeah. Yes, and people are
really. Is it really that big of a deal?
No.
Yes. Yeah. Well, to some because they've gone to corporate and.
But like in the grand scheme of things, is it really that big of a deal? Are we dying over this?
We aren't, but these people are.
Surgery? Are we curing cancer here?
Losing their minds.
Oh
my God! What's the next thing you're gonna do? One person said, the next thing you're gonna do, you're gonna put all the boys and the girls' clothes together. And it's only in certain departments like entertainment, toys, and something else, sporting goods or something.
And what does it matter if it says boys or girls?
It doesn't matter.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, remember, the people that are complaining are mainly the quote-unquote, take back our country. Let's take back our country.
That's fine. They can go to Walmart. They can go to Buy for Less. They can go to Dollar Tree. I'm not bothered about them going those places.
I know.
It seems like those are the type of individuals.
It's fine to me because now I can go shop on Tuesday afternoons after they do their markdowns and all those people won't be there.
Oh my god! And Target, Target is fabulous.
Yes, I go
And
to Target once a week. I was there today.
when I was your age, I was always going to Target. It was fantastic. I loved it. I haven't been there in a while, but it's still.
I didn't realize Target had been around that long.
Oh, bitch, whatever. Anyway, I just loved Target because they always had the best like cheap furniture and cheap
Right.